Welcome to my virtual studio. And if you have a yoga mat, you can be on your yoga mat. If you don't have a yoga mat, it's okay. You can just be on the floor, just so you have a water bottle by you so you can hydrate and take care of yourself, because that's part of yoga, is taking care of ourselves. And just if you're in socks, take them off so you're in bare feet so nobody slips. So the class is about 30 minutes long, and I only teach kids. So that's what I do. I've taught kids in ballet, and now for the past several years, I teach kids in yoga. So today we're gonna learn about yoga. We will never stand on our head, so you don't have to worry about headstands or anything like that. And we're going to do poses today where we're all going to look different. So if you do something that starts to hurt in any way, you back off, because yoga is not about pain. So yoga is about feeling good and relaxing. So when we talk about yoga, we talk about something called the 3 B's. So when we talk about yoga, we talk about our body. And so in yoga, we honor our body. So if something is hurting, we don't go into that yoga pose, and that's okay. In yoga, we talk about eating healthy and eating foods that are good for us, and drinking water and taking care of our body and honoring our body. So that's the first B. The second B is our brain. So we have body and then brain. So with our yoga and our brain, we talk about our feelings and maybe feeling relaxed, talking about feelings that are kind of hard to work through, like anger or stress. Today, we're going to talk about stress. So we have our body and we have our brain, and then we have our breath. So in yoga, we do a lot of breathing. We have some breaths that wake us up, and then we have some breaths that calm us down. And today we're going to do a lot of calming breaths. So throughout the week, if you feel, oh my goodness, I feel worried or I feel nervous, well, you will learn a breath today that will help with that. And I, Miss Ann, I breathe all the time. So I love to share what helps me, and so it can help you too. So today we're talking about the ocean. I love the ocean, and I love to watch video clips of the ocean. So when we talk about the ocean, we talk about all these crashing waves that come down, and those crashing waves. So if you were little and you've gone to the ocean before, maybe those crashing waves have even knocked you over. They have with me when I was little. And so these crashing waves are like stress. So they constantly come. We constantly have stress in our lives, and everybody's stress is real, and it matters. We have to learn how to deal with our stresses. So we have all these crashing waves, but our yoga is what is underneath all those crashing waves. Our yoga is our coral reef. So maybe you can think of like a little Nemo swimming by, maybe a sea urchin flowing in the water, or a sea turtle slowly going through the ocean. That is our yoga. So let's get started. The first thing we do in every single yoga class is we start in crisscross applesauce. So I'll put the camera down to my knees. Here are my palm tree yoga pants, and we are going to sit in crisscross applesauce. This is actually a yoga pose, and it's called Sukhasana. So all yoga words are in Sanskrit. This is the only yoga word that I use. So this is Sukhasana. And so we take our hands and we put them on our knees. And now watch Miss Ann's back. It grows very tall, because when we sit tall, we can take deep breaths. And when we can take deep breaths, we use this part of our brain, which helps us think very clearly. So here we go. I brought my breathing ball with me today. So when we breathe and we take deep breaths, let's breathe in through our nose, and our lungs fill up with air. And then we breathe out of our nose and we close the breathing ball. Let's go again. Ready? Breathe in. breathe out. So I know we probably don't have breathing balls at home, but we can do balloon breath with our hands on our belly. So watch here, as we breathe in, our balloon blows up, and then our balloon gets smaller as we breathe out. Let's go again. Let's breathe in, and then let's breathe out. So can you do 2 more balloon breaths for me, and I will show you with this, and we can do it together because we're like a group, we're like a family. So here we go. Let's breathe in and then breathe out. And again, let's breathe in and breathe out. So can you notice how you feel? You can even type it in the chat if you want. How do you feel? I always say a thumbs up is awesome, a thumbs here is okay, and a thumbs here is not so good. Oh, I see some thumbs up. You can be wherever you want. If you're here, it's okay. We just need to be brave and work through some feelings. It's all good. But I'm here right now. I'll share that with you. I feel awesome. A couple deep breaths always makes a big difference. So now, we have to stretch. And I have my phone here. My phone has some music, right? So I like to play a little bit of music. I'm gonna hop back on my yoga mat because now it's one of my favorite times because I like to stretch. All right, so when we're on our yoga mat or on our floor, we're gonna take our feet straight out in front of us. Now watch my back. It sits up very tall. So some of us will have straight legs here. Some of us need a little bend in our knee. So whichever works best for you is completely fine. We will all look different. But as we do that, we're gonna sit up tall. And I always like to just start by reaching for my knees. And I just say I tickle my knees. So here we go, we're gonna tickle our knees. And then we reach down a little further in our staff pose. So this is called staff pose. We're gonna tickle our shins. And then we reach, maybe we can tickle our toes. Some people can, some people cannot. And again, that's okay. We honor our body and wherever we are is okay. But let's sit up a little bit taller. And now this time, let's use some bigger words. So we're gonna tickle our knees, which is our patellas. So our kneecap is our patellas. And then we're gonna reach down a little bit further and tickle our shins, which is our tibia. So that bone right here in front is our tibia. And then let's see if we can reach the whole way down and tickle our toes, which is our metatarsals. So here we go. Now let's take our hands down our floor or our mat. And now we press our heels into the floor and we're gonna reach up to a plank. Who can go to a reverse plank? Very good. Miss Ann loves the plank. It's one of her favorite things to do. And let's reach again. So in yoga, we always breathe. And then we reach down and we start to stretch. And we can go to a plank. Very good. All right, let's do one more. I just feel like we need one more stretch, just like this. And then we bring our hands down. And then we go to a plank. And then we can take our feet and set them on the floor, and we can be a crab. Sometimes our crabs walk back and forth. So sometimes you can even give a high five. And I even like to do that on Zoom. I love the high five. All of my new friends, and you can too. And then we come on down. Oh, very good. Let's give all of that just a little bit of a shake. All right, let's swing our legs around. And now in yoga, we're going to something called tabletop. So I have my hands on my mat or floor and my knees on the mat or floor. It kind of looks like a table. If we would make a sun butter sandwich and put it on our back. So from here, we do something called cats and cows. So this is really good for our spine. So we round our back like a cat. And then we arch our back like a cow. So if you're at home and you want to do what we call in yoga our meows and moos, you would round your back over with a meow for a cat. And then you can arch your back and be a moo if you want. You don't have to if you don't want to. But this is really good to keep our back nice and healthy. And we're gonna just do our last cow right here. And then our belly button goes in really strong. And now we're gonna do something that's actually grown-up yoga, and I know you're ready. So we take our right arm out, and I wiggle. Do you see how I'm wiggling my thumb? So it goes to the sky. So our shoulder's in our right place. I'm looking straight out, and I take my left leg out. So this is called a spinal balance. Sometimes we get a little wiggly here. So we just have to be careful that we look out. And if it's too much, we can take our leg down, or we can even take our arm down. So whichever works best for you. A nice long spinal balance. Let's take a deep breath. And set it down. Let's go to the other side. So let's take our left hand out, and I'm wiggling that left thumb so it reaches to the sky. And then I look out, I have a focus point, and I take my right leg out. So this is called spinal balance, and it's really good for you. Yes, and very good. And then we come on down. So from here, we're going back. Let's do this first. Let's go back on our knees. So this is called hero pose. Who knew that being on your knees was actually called hero pose? So here we are sitting nice and tall. And now we take a forward fold. Our hands reach out and we go into something called child's pose. It's kind of like a really tiny seashell. So here's our child's pose. I like to go in child's pose when I need a deep breath. So if you get upset, or even before bedtime, or before or early in the morning, I like to hop in the child's pose and take a deep breath. So from here, now we're going to move into downward dog. So we curl our toes under, press our hands into the floor, and our hips go to the sky. And this is called downward dog. So our heels reach for the floor, but they won't touch, and that's okay. They're not supposed to touch. Some people even have a little bend in their knee. Like I said, everyone will look different in their own yoga. So from here, in our downward dog, let's walk our feet in, and we're gonna roll up, and I'm gonna move my screen, because that's just what I have to do in yoga, to mountain pose. So here's mountain pose. So mountain pose is very important because our feet are into the ground and our palms are forward. And so from here, with our palms forward, I always say my belly button is in. I have a rainbow under my chin, and I have a crown on my head. And so from here, we're going to take a great big breath, and let's breathe in and then breathe out. Let's go again. We're going to breathe in and breathe out. We're going to do one more. Breathe in and breathe out. And then from here, we take our hands to peace pose. And so our peace pose, we take our hands to the sky, and now we reach over. So this is crescent pose. So we're doing a great big side bend. And then we go crescent pose on the other side. And again, we're going to crescent pose. And let's do one more crescent pose. Very good. And let's take our hands down. And now we go into a forward fold. So a forward fold is we're putting our belly on our thigh and we're reaching down. So this always, to me, feels really, really nice. But do you notice my legs are not perfectly straight? They're where I need to be for my body. So you can have a bend in them, and that's okay. And then from here, we're going to roll up, back to mountain pose. Nice and tall. So from here, we need to learn a sun salutation. So yesterday was the summer solstice, and some yogis even do 108 of these. We're gonna do one, all right? So here we go. So let's get ready to learn it. So our sun salutation, we reach up tall to the sun. We can even say, hello, sun, good morning. Let's reach our arms around like a great big sun. We take our hands to our mat. So our hands go down to the floor and we walk it back to plank. Here's our plank. All right, like I said, Miss Ann loves to plank. So here's our plank. Let's take a deep breath in and out. From here, we're gonna bend our knees and go to our belly. And then take our hands by our side and we lift up, and this is called Cobra Pose. So if you want, you can even hiss like a snake. In Cobra Pose, we take our hands back down to our side, and we're gonna go back to Child's Pose. Curl your toes under, lift to Downward Dog. And then from here, we can just even hop it in. So we can bend our knees, hop our feet in. And then from here, we go back and we're gonna lift up halfway. Very good. Let's round back over. And then we're gonna reach back up to the sun one more time. I am positive you did fantastic with our sun salutation. If that was your first sun salutation, pat yourself on the back because that was a really good job. They actually make you kind of hot and sweaty. So from here, let's go to Warrior One. So let's learn some yoga poses. So here's our Warrior One. We're in mountain. Our hands go to our hips. And we're taking one leg back. So I'm going to turn to the side to show you one leg. So I have a knee that has a bend and I have a leg that is straight. Bringing our arms up. And here is our Warrior One. Warrior Ones help us feel brave and help us relieve some stress. So here we go. Let's take a deep breath in. Let's do one more. Breathe in. Take our arms to the side, look out, so make sure you have a place to focus your eyes. All right, we're gonna look out and we're gonna lift our back leg to Warrior Three. Maybe it's just little, it doesn't have to be super big, it doesn't have to be long even. And you're at home, which is so cool because you can hold on to something. So I can hold on to my table over here if I get wiggly. Yeah, so we can look out and there's our Warrior Three. All right, come on down and let's just kind of wiggle it all out. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And then let's freeze nice and tall. All right, so make sure in your balances that you focus your eyes on one thing because we're exercising that focus muscle and that's good for attention. And so we can learn all kinds of good stuff. Okay, so let's go to the other side for Warrior One. Here's mountain. Take our hands to our hips and take our other leg back. So I'll show you to the side. I have one knee that has a bend, one leg that is straight, and I bring my arms up to Warrior One. All right, this is where we can feel brave. We can take a deep breath in. Let's do one more. Find a place to focus our eyes. Have our arms go to the side and we look out. And we can fly into Warrior Three. And if you get wiggly, hold on to something. That's okay to do. Yes, even if you have a brother or sister, you can hold hands and do a partner pose. Partner poses are so much fun. And then, let's come on down. And then let's just kind of shake it all out. Oh my goodness. Sometimes it feels good to just wiggle everything out. Let's do one more. Let's just wiggle it out. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And then we just freeze really tall. Very good. Let's do one more. Let's just wiggle, 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 wiggle. Oh, and freeze. So let's go into star pose, just like a starfish. All right. So here's one of my favorite poses to go into. In our star pose, we can take one hand to the ground and reach one to the sky. Now my knees have a little bend in them. They're not perfectly straight. They have a little bend. So here's a twist. Twisting is very important in yoga. Very good. Let's swing that arm back up, just like a starfish moving through the ocean. One hand to the ground and one to the sky. Very good. And then let's reach that back up, and then we can bend our starfish. So this is called goddess pose. So we can do, let's do 3 of them. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. And then we'll stand up tall. All right. So let's go. We've done warrior 1. We've done warrior 3. Let's do warrior 2. All right. It's kind of like surfing. So if you've ever surfed, I have never surfed, but let's go to warrior 2. So here's our mountain pose. Let's take those arms up and do another. Let's do this called flying bird breath. So let's breathe in and breathe out. Let's do one more. Breathe in and breathe out. Take our hands to our hips. We're hopping to one side. So I just go like that and go hop. And then I point to my foot at the front of me and I make it go my toes face front. So let me hop to the side and I'll show you warrior 2. So I have a knee that has a bend here and I have a leg that is straight here and I bring my arms out and look straight out. So this is warrior 2. So if you like to surf, you may even try to do a little bit of surfing moves. You can always try that. Or you can go nice and still and take a great big breath. Warrior 2, so good for confidence. Let's do one more. Very good. Let's stand up tall. All right, let's go to the other side. So we take our hands to our hips and we hop to the other side. Hop. Our toes in the front, face to the front, we bend our knee. So let me move to the side. Very good. So I have a knee that has a bend and a leg that is straight. I bring my arms out and here I am in warrior 2. If you choose to surf, you can surf again. We're here to have a little fun too. Doesn't have to be all serious. And then we're gonna freeze on our surfboards. And we're gonna take a great big breath in and out. And let's breathe in again. Breathe in and out. And then let's move into mountain pose again. Let's go to our belly because I like to swim. So let's go on our belly and do some exercises that's like swimming. See, Miss Ann teaches Pilates too, and this is Pilates, which keeps us really strong. So here we are on our belly. And then we're going to take our arms straight out and our legs out and our belly button is in strong and we can pretend that we're swimming in the ocean. I love to swim, but actually this is a lot of work. So let's swim just for another breath and then rest. Oh my goodness. Let's do it one more time. Our arms go out, our belly button is in, our legs lift. And we swim in the ocean. Very good, maybe we can swim fast. And then maybe we can swim slow. Oh, very good. Take our hands by our side and let's just stretch up to great big up dog and give our belly muscles a whole bunch of stretching. Very good. And then come on down. Our hands go by your sides. Let's go back to child's pose. Very good. From here, we're going to curl our toes under and lift to downward dog. Oh, and then walk it in. And then we're going to sit down. All right. So our hands are going to go behind us. And now we swish our legs back and forth. And back and forth. And you can keep doing this. So hang on, because I'm going to put on some soft music. You can keep going. I call it mermaid pose. All right. And we are just going to go really slow because we're starting to slow things down. All right. We can bring our body up and then we can take it back down. So when we do slow rhythmic movement, it actually takes our nervous system down. It actually helps us calm down. So we're just doing little wind washers or mermaid poses. And now we're going to swoosh our legs to one side. And I just like to bring them in like this. So we're sitting up tall and our hands go to the side, and let's just reach up and over. Where do you feel the stretch? Can you point to where you feel it? I feel it right here. Some people feel it in a different place, and that's okay. And then let's reach up tall and let's reach the other way. That's a deeper stretch for me. Very good. And let's reach up, let's bring those legs in, and let's switch to the other side. All right, let's try the other side. We reach up and over like our arm is a great big rainbow. And then we come on up. And now we bring our arm. Oh, I feel the stretch here. I feel it right here. I don't know if you do, but that's where I feel it. It helps with our body awareness that where we can feel our stretches. Very good. Okay. So now I want to teach you a breath called Starfish Breath. So I'm just going to move a little bit closer. I have a little yoga bolster that I sit on. All right. So Starfish Breath helps if we get worried. Miss Ann gets worried. I get worried all the time. So I like to share this breath with you. So take our hand out, kind of like a starfish glistening in the water. Now I'm going to take my other finger, and as we breathe in, we're going to trace up our hand. So we're going to breathe in, and then as our finger goes down, we breathe out. Let's keep going. Breathe in, and then breathe out. And breathe in, and breathe out. And breathe in, and breathe out. You can close your eyes if you want, but you don't have to. Breathe in and breathe out. I love to use Starfish Breath. It helps me feel like I'm part of that coral reef. So the crashing waves can still keep happening, but I can be part of that slow, calm, moving coral reef. Let's do the other side. Here we go. You can follow along if you don't want to trace up your hand. You can just follow. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. Making sure we're going at my pace and no one's racing through it. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And one more. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay. So, how do you feel? Maybe you feel relaxed. I always like to say the words, but your feelings are yours. Maybe you feel calm. Maybe you feel more peaceful. So there's all kinds of feelings. Sometimes we realize when we take 10 deep breaths that we are tired and maybe we should go to bed a little earlier. So there's all kinds of different feelings that might come up. I am reading very relaxed, and that just makes my heart happy. So sometimes in a yoga class, we do resting pose at the end, and I will let you do resting pose when we we disconnect. So resting pose, I like to just lay on my yoga mat. It's really why I went to yoga, so I could do resting pose. And I put my hand on my belly, and I just take some deep breaths. But for right now, we're probably in crisscross applesauce and we're sitting up tall. And I just want to thank you so much for coming to my yoga class today. I really enjoyed connecting with all of you. And I had a great time. Thank you. Is Sheik around? Well, there he is.
Thank you so much for sharing up with us, Mrs. Fields. And I don't know about any of you. Warrior 1, I was totally fine. Yes. But Warrior 3, I had to put my hands on a couple things.
I hold on to Warrior 3. Yeah, so Warrior 3 gets a little tricky. So next time that we come, here for another one. We're going to work on a couple other poses. We'll work on tree pose. And, oh, I have all kinds of stuff for us to do for our next time, but definitely we'll do tree pose. So if you already know tree pose, maybe you could practice it for me and stuff.
I'm so glad you brought that up. We are going to be doing several camp sessions all the way from July 31st. Then Mrs. Fields will be coming back to do 2 more lessons with us. One is on July 7th, which is a Tuesday, and the other one will be on July 21st, which is a Wednesday. And I am actually going to share a link for you where you can check out all of our summer camp sessions that we have posted so far, and that you could sign up. Usually we post 2 weeks out in advance, but look for them on that website. We'll be sending you emails as well. Before we leave, though, if anyone has any questions, please put them in the group chat. I will make sure that Mrs. Fields hears them. She can see your questions too. And if you do have a question, let me know, where are you from? What town are you from? For example, I see Alex here has a beautiful dog. What town are you from? Let us know. And while you're doing that, just a reminder, when you go to that link for summer camp, there is a download for a passport, because this is your passport to summer. You can either type right into it, or you could print it out. And if you go to 6 classes and put a sentence or 2 of what you've learned, you will get a prize from PA Virtual. You just send it in to us, and we'll be happy to send you a beautiful prize pack. I see somebody's from Pittsburgh. Someone's from Doylestown. Isabel is from Bridgeport. I'm from Glen Olden. I think Mrs. Fields mentioned she is from Camp Hill. We have a Philadelphia person here. North Canton, Ohio. Welcome out of stater. All right, Nina. So once again, guys, thank you so much on behalf of all our families, our staff, the school, myself, Mrs. Fields. I mean, thank you so much for coming. Someone from Massachusetts. All right, Autumn. So glad that you're here. I don't see any questions, but just a reminder, this will get posted again, this video, within the next 48 hours on our YouTube page. I'll put it on our Facebook page, our Twitter, our Instagram. If you are a PA Virtual family, you'll see some stuff on our Blackboard as well. And if anyone has any questions at all, I'm going to hang out for a few minutes. Please feel free to put it in chat. Let me know anything that you might want to know, and I'll be happy to answer for you. But beyond that, have a beautiful day. I hope this was a great start to your week. Tomorrow, intro to DJing with DJ Bentrock, who has been DJing for 35 years, which is incredible. Mrs. Fields, before we let you go, any parting words?
I enjoyed this so much. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I love teaching kids. I have a website, peacefulposeskidsyoga.com. And it's actually, I just changed it this weekend. It's all brand new information, and you can hop on there and learn more about what I do. But I love teaching children. It's one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. So thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you come to the next couple classes, because we'll do some more things. I have calm down jars, I have chimes, I have all kinds of good stuff to share with you. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm going to go, but if you need anything else, Sheikah is here and he will help you. Thanks. Have a good day.
Have a good one, Mrs. Fields. And like I said, I'll stick around. If you guys just want to leave, the class is over, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow and throughout the summer.